Have you ever noticed the most twisted irony of this world? The people who work the hardest, the ones who grind 24/7, who are terrified to take a single breath, who haven't seen a sunset without a laptop in their lap. They are almost never the ones with the most money. Be honest with yourself. Are you tired of grinding like a dog every single day? Is your nervous system constantly fried, counting every cent while your bank account stays dead silent? What if I told you that the reason you're exhausted and still broke is simple? You have no idea how to actually enjoy your life. Now, I know what you're thinking. Are you kidding me? I can't even pay next month's rent, and you're telling me to enjoy myself? That's easy for you to say. I'm Logan. And today, I'm here to completely shatter your reality. I'm going to reveal the ultimate wealth code that 99% of the world ignores. The more you enjoy, the richer you become. This isn't some fluffy, feel-good spiritual BS, and I'm definitely not telling you to go lay on a couch and do nothing. Quite the opposite. This is a psychological and energetic blueprint for how wealth actually works. In the next few minutes, we're going to peel back the layers and look at money through 5 lenses you've never considered. I'll show you why your hustle is so cheap and how to shift your internal state so that wealth starts chasing you instead of you chasing it. And stick around until the end, because I'm going to share a simple, high-energy practice I've kept secret for a long time. It'll boost your capacity to enjoy instantly. Stop surviving. Start creating. Let's dive in. Let's talk about something that sounds like woo-woo spiritual nonsense, but is actually cold, hard physics. Everything is energy. You, me, the chair you're sitting on, and, most importantly, the money you're so desperate to make. It's all just energy, vibrating at different frequencies. Now, do me a favor. Close your eyes for a second. Think about your life right now. When you're drowning in anxiety, when you're terrified of your bills, when you're constantly stressed about the future, how does your body feel? It feels heavy, right? Tight, like there's an iron band around your chest. That is a low vibration state. In this state, your entire energetic field is shrinking. It's closed off. You are literally broadcasting a signal to the world that says, I am lacking. I am not enough. I am in danger. And here is the brutal truth. The universe is a giant echo chamber. It doesn't give you what you want, it reflects back what you are. If you broadcast lack, the universe will manifest more reasons for you to feel lack. Unexpected bills, failing investments, or getting passed over for that promotion. You're trying to suck an entire ocean of wealth through a needle's eye. It's physically impossible. High-frequency abundance cannot enter a low-frequency, shrunken container. So, what is a high-frequency state? It's joy, it's gratitude, it's being relaxed, and above all, it's enjoyment. Think about the last time you truly enjoyed something. Maybe it was that first sip of a perfect espresso, the way the light hit the trees during a walk, or a deep laugh with a friend. In those moments, you felt expanded. You felt alive. Enjoyment is one of the highest frequencies a human can reach. When you allow yourself to enjoy your life now, you become a powerful radio tower. You're telling the universe, I'm good, I'm abundant, I'm ready for more. This isn't magic, it's resonance. 2 tuning forks at the same frequency will both vibrate if you strike one. When you stay in a state of high-vibe enjoyment, you naturally resonate with wealth, opportunities, and the right people. I had a friend who was a high-level executive at a Fortune 500 company, making bank, but miserable. He lived on caffeine and cortisol. His energy was so low he was literally getting sick. He finally hit a wall, quit, and started a tiny boutique woodworking shop. Everyone thought he was suicidal, but he spent his days actually enjoying the smell of the wood, the feel of the tools, the sunlight in his workshop. He was finally relaxed. And the craziest thing happened. Because of his vibe, his pure, infectious enjoyment of his craft, his work went viral. He's now making more money than he ever did in the corporate world, with half the hours. He didn't hustle harder. He just switched his frequency. He stopped broadcasting stress and started broadcasting joy. Stop treating money like a war you have to win. You don't need to chase it. You need to raise your frequency through enjoyment and let the money chase you. Let's get real for a second. Why do you feel that weird, cold pit in your stomach every time you spend money on something you actually love? Why, when you finally buy that high-end camera or book that first-class ticket, is there a tiny voice in your head whispering, "You shouldn't have done that. That was irresponsible. Who do you think you are?" That voice is a virus. It's a deep-seated program called the lack of deservingness. Most of us were raised on a lie that suffering is a virtue. We were taught that if you aren't struggling, you aren't earning it. We've turned busy and exhausted into badges of honor. But let me tell you something that's going to sting. Suffering is not a trophy. It's a cage you built for yourself. Where did this come from? Maybe it was your parents telling you, "We can't afford that," every time you saw something beautiful. Or maybe you were always compared to someone better, making you feel like you had to finish a marathon of pain just to deserve a glass of water. Now, as an adult, you've become your own worst warden. You sabotage your success because, deep down, you're terrified of being too comfortable. You think everything good must be paid for in blood, sweat, and tears. But here is the piercing truth that 99% of people miss. Your bank account will never exceed your self-worth. Think of your deservingness as a container. If your internal container is the size of a thimble, it doesn't matter if the universe pours a gallon of gold on you. You're only going to keep a few drops. The rest will spill over, get lost, or you'll literally break the opportunity just to get back to the level of struggle that feels safe. Have you ever seen someone win the lottery and go broke 2 years later? That's not bad luck. That's a small container. Their mind couldn't handle the ease of wealth, so they subconsciously threw it away. Enjoyment is the only weapon that breaks this curse. When you allow yourself to enjoy a luxury, even a small one, without an ounce of guilt, you are performing a revolutionary act. You are telling your subconscious, "I am worthy of beauty. I am worthy of ease. I am worthy of the best this world has to offer." Every time you enjoy your life, you are stretching your container. You are signaling that you are a match for abundance. Stop worshiping the grind. It's not a virtue, it's a prison sentence. You don't get what you work for. You get what you believe you deserve. Let's address the biggest lie in the modern world. The idea that productivity is a measurement of pain. We've been brainwashed to believe that if you aren't exhausted, you aren't working hard enough. If it doesn't hurt, It doesn't count. But here is the uncomfortable reality. Hustle culture is a scam designed for people who don't know how to create. When you treat your work as a grind, as a debt you have to pay to survive, you are operating in a state of constant internal resistance. Your brain is in survival mode. You are using 90% of your energy just to force yourself to sit in the chair, leaving only 10% for actual creativity. That is why you feel drained. You aren't working, you're fighting yourself. Now, let's talk about God mode, what psychologists call flow. Flow is that magical state where time disappears. You're so immersed in what you're doing that the work seems to happen through you, not by you. Your output isn't just better, it's exponential. 1 hour in flow is worth 10 hours of grinding. And here is the catch. You cannot force flow. You can only enjoy your way into it. The world's most successful people, the elite artists, the visionary CEOs, the top-tier athletes, they aren't suffering through their work. They are obsessed with it. They are playing a high-stakes game they deeply enjoy. Steve Jobs didn't obsess over the iPhone's curvature because he was a masochist. He did it because he was in a state of pure, aesthetic enjoyment. Wealth is the reward for the value you create. If you create from a place of pain, your value is linear. It's cheap. But if you create from a place of joy and flow, your value becomes priceless. If you find your work miserable, stop asking how to persist. Start asking, how can I find the fun in this? Or, what would I do if I were playing instead of working? Because the person who loves what they do will always outproduce, out-earn, and outlive the person who is just grinding for a paycheck. Stop trying to win the rat race by running faster. Step off the track and start dancing. Most people aren't actually living their lives. They're just avoiding disaster. Are you stuck in what I call the whack-a-mole life? You wake up and a bill pops up. Whack! A health issue pops up. Whack! Your boss is mad. Your car breaks down. Whack! Whack! You spend your entire existence reacting to problems. Your only goal is to make it to Friday without everything collapsing. That is survival mode. And in survival mode, your focus is entirely on what you don't have. You are a firefighter in a burning house, exhausted, covered in soot, and you've never once stopped to realize you were meant to be the architect, not the extinguisher. Enjoyment is the bridge that carries you from survival to creation. When you start asking, what do I want to enjoy today? Instead of, what problem do I have to fix today? Everything shifts. You move from a state of lack to a state of abundance. Think about the most successful businesses in America. Apple doesn't just sell you a phone to solve a communication problem. They sell you the experience of elegance and status. A 5-star restaurant doesn't just solve your hunger. They sell you an unforgettable evening. Wealth flows to the people who create experiences. But here is the piercing truth. You cannot create an experience for others that you haven't mastered for yourself. If you don't know how to enjoy a meal, how can you build a great restaurant? If you don't know how to enjoy luxury, how can you sell it? I know a girl who started an Airbnb business. She didn't start it because she needed the rent money. She started it because she was obsessed with the feeling of a perfect morning in a beautiful space. She curated every candle, every linen, and every view based on her own capacity for enjoyment. Her places are always booked at double the market rate. She isn't solving a housing problem. She is creating a masterpiece of experience. When you switch to creation mode, you stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the author of your reality. You stop chasing pennies and start attracting empires. Stop asking what the world needs from you. Start asking what makes you come alive. Because what the world needs is more people who have come alive. Here is the most expensive mistake you're making right now. You are a time traveler, but you're traveling to all the wrong places. Most of us spend 90% of our mental energy in two places: the graveyard of the past, replaying regrets, or the ghost of the future, rehearsing anxieties. But here is the brutal truth. Nothing, absolutely nothing happens in the past or the future. Opportunities, billion-dollar ideas, and the miracles you're praying for, they only exist in the frequency of now. Think of the universe like a giant radio station broadcasting 24/7. It's sending out signals of inspiration and wealth-building God shots every second. But your radio only has one power button, and it's located in the present moment. If you aren't now, your radio is off. You're sitting in silence, wondering why everyone else is hearing the music. And what is the fastest way to turn that radio on? Enjoyment. When you're fully enjoying a piece of dark chocolate, or the feeling of cold water on your face, or the rhythm of a song, you are forced into the now. You cannot truly enjoy something while your mind is in 2027. Enjoyment is the ultimate anchor. This is why history's greatest breakthroughs didn't happen in a cubicle. Archimedes didn't discover displacement while staring at a chalkboard. He was relaxing in a hot bath. Newton didn't figure out gravity while crunching numbers in a lab. He was daydreaming in a garden. Even the inventor of the Post-it note got the idea while he was at church, letting his mind wander during the music. These weren't accidents. These were downloads. When you relax and enjoy the moment, you stop the noise of your ego and open a high-speed data cable to the universe's intelligence. When your mind is obsessed only with making money, your vision becomes narrow and desperate. You're like a person walking through a forest looking only for pennies on the dirt, while the trees are literally dripping with gold. Stop being so busy that you become blind. Schedule microdoses of enjoyment every day. Eat your lunch without your phone. Take a shower and actually feel the water. Listen to a song like your life depends on it. In those useless moments of pure enjoyment, you'll find that stroke of genius, the one that changes your tax bracket forever. We've covered a lot of ground today, but it all leads to one undeniable, uncomfortable truth. Wealth is not a reward for your misery. It is a byproduct of your joy. Let's recap the blueprint we just built. Energy. You don't chase money. You vibrate at the frequency of abundance through enjoyment. Deservingness. You stop being a martyr and start stretching your internal container to receive the best. Flow. You stop grinding like a machine and start creating like a god. Creation. You move from the whack-a-mole survival life to the architect of elite experiences. Now, you turn on your reality radio by dropping into the present moment. The logic of wealth is the exact opposite of what society taught you. It's not a marathon of sacrifice. It's a celebration of value. This universe doesn't reward the hustle. It rewards the heart. Real wealth isn't just the commas in your bank account. It's your capacity to actually taste the life you've built. As Oscar Wilde famously said, "To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist. That is all." I don't want you to just exist anymore. I want you to live. I want you to be so vibrant, so full of enjoyment, that wealth has no choice but to find you. The 3 Joys Diary. I promised you a secret weapon at the beginning, and here it is. It's simple, it's free, and it will rewire your brain in 21 days. I call it the 3 Joys Diary. Every night before you go to bed, write down 3 things you truly enjoyed that day. Not things you achieved, but things you felt. And here is the catch. Be specific. Don't just write, "I had a good coffee." Write, "That first sip of the oat milk latte was pure heaven. The way the warmth hit my throat made me feel like the world was on my side for a second." Don't just write, "The sunset was nice." Write, "The sky turned that specific shade of electric purple that made me realize how much beauty I usually miss because I'm staring at my phone." Do this for 21 days. Why? Because 21 days is what it takes to build a new neural pathway. You are training your brain to stop being a minesweeper looking for problems and start being a treasure hunter looking for abundance. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Stop chasing. Start enjoying. The life you've been praying for is already on its way to meet you. You just have to be home to receive it. Thanks for watching. If this pierced your heart today, hit that like button, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, what is one thing you are going to unapologetically enjoy today? I'm Logan. I'll see you in the next one.